welcome to our beautiful hometown of Bathurst. Glen and I are going to be heading south of the province today to take in a few day adventures. We're going to be heading down around the Bay of Fundy region where we're going to find the highest tides in the world.
And we have some great adventures lined up. First of all, Robyn, you're going to be doing some horseback riding and some caving, so I hope you're not too claustrophobic. Me, well, I'm afraid of heights, terrified of heights, and I have to rappel down a 140-foot cliff at Cape Enrage, one of Canada's finest views. And I'm also going to walk on the ocean floor. There's not too many places you can say you can do that.
For sure.
Right here in New Brunswick, let's go.
Let's do it.
New Brunswick is more than 28,000 square miles in size, and the best way to see the wonders of our province is by driving the 5 scenic routes. The easiest way to experience the Bay of Fundy region is by following the Fundy Coastal Drive, which stretches along the New Brunswick coastline from its border with Maine to its border with Nova Scotia.
It is forever fluctuating, and its shoreline evolves with each passing wave. As the water in the Bay of Fundy ebbs and flows, it creates a phenomenon that occurs nowhere else on the planet. Located on the east coast of Canada, and resting on the coastlines of the provinces of New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, and the American state of Maine, the Bay of Fundy stretches 180 miles long, and the mouth of the bay is 62 miles wide, with its depth ranging between 400 and 700 feet. The tides of the Bay of Fundy are so dramatic that they are considered the highest tides in the world. There are a few reasons why this area of New Brunswick experiences the highest tides. One major reason is its funnel formation. As the gravitational forces of the sun and moon combine to create a continuum of tidal action all over the world, this unique shape of the bay allows for water to flow into a narrow point, leaving it no place to go but up. So how much water actually flows into this area? Well, how about 200 billion tons each day?
Oceanographers calculate that that equals the discharge of every single freshwater river on planet Earth in a day. And the one I like best, if you bulldoze New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and PEI flat, and you allowed the water to accumulate from those two tides, you'd actually be standing thigh-deep in water anywhere in maritime Canada. Unbelievable.
Our Bay of Fundy adventure begins at one of Canada's most amazing views, Cape Enrage. Cape Enrage is named after the turbulent seas that rest at the foot of its rocky cliffs. The lighthouse, built in 1870, has guided many sailors through tumultuous weather and away from the Cape's jagged coast. I'm here today with Cape Enrage Adventures to rappel down a 140-foot cliff to the ocean floor, keeping in mind that I am not a big fan of heights at all.
Okay, buddy. Both feet right here, face that way.
Okay, Adam, you're coming down with me, buddy?
Yeah, I'm coming down with you.
So I don't have to look down at any point doing this?
Nope. All right, so right hand right down here.
Like this? Like that?
Yep. Left hand right up here.
Okay.
All right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna lean right back into the into the rope.
Right now?
Yep, right now. Put your weight right in the harness.
Okay. Yeah.
Keep leaning back all the way back till this is got some tension on it.
Oh, geez, this is the hard part.
Straighten your knees out.
Down?
Straighten your knees out.
Okay.
All right, take a foot, doesn't matter which one, and step down. It's about a 6-inch or an 8-inch step.
There?
Yep, right there. Bring your second foot down to meet it. You might have to let the rope slide through your hands a little bit. There you go. All right, take a foot, doesn't matter which one, and down onto the rock. It's gonna be a bit of a step in. There you go.
Okay, where should all the pressure be on my...
Let me see you wiggle your hand in your left hand.
Okay,
There
yeah.
you go. You don't need it whatsoever.
If you just don't look down, it's as easy as pie. Because if I look down right now, well, folks, New Brunswick's got a lot of great adventures. This is the New Brunswick Adventures. We'll see you at the bottom near Cape Enrage, one of the finest places in the world.
Why don't you give the camera away with your left hand?
No, are you not? You do it.
I don't mind waving to the
Oh,
camera.
I feel the tension from you now. Keep me tense.
All right.
That feels great.
I think you're tense enough as it is, aren't you?
I'm starting to relax.
Your hand again on your left.
Okay, there we go.
A few kilometers north of Cape Enrage, along the Fundy Coastal Drive, is the village of Hillsborough. I'm here to explore the natural undeveloped gypsum caves with my guide, Richard Faulkner. Our adventure begins with a trek along forest trails to the White Cave. This cave is roughly 10 to 30,000 years old and measures 515 meters. Mostly made of gypsum, the White Cave is given its name because of the color of this mineral. It has two entrances, the south and the north. We're entering on the north side.
Yeah, much cooler.
All right, well, this is where we're heading. And just 2 or 3 things in terms of safety. Go low and slow. Make sure you get your rear end down. Everything is damp in there, even though it may not look it. And a light would be helpful. So you just give that a twist. And when we're walking, we're not gawking at the same time, right? So if you want to look around, stop moving your feet because the floor is going to be like out here. It's uneven and irregular, and we don't want to turn an ankle in there. Chris has safety equipment, all that sort of stuff. So if your brain dies, don't panic. Surgery is short, simple, and painless.
Great.
All right, let's check her out.
Let's do it.
Okay, make sure you get your rear end down. Get your feet out in front. Ooh, lots of water on the ceiling, huh?
Coming up, we continue our adventures in New Brunswick, Canada's East Coast experience. Welcome back. We are on the Fundy coastline in New Brunswick, Canada, home of the highest tides in the world. You can walk on the ocean floor right here.
Twice a day, the Bay of Fundy washes along the shores of southern New Brunswick. These are the world's highest tides, and there is no better place on earth to witness this tidal phenomenon than at Hopewell Rocks Provincial Park. At Hopewell, you'll see evidence of what massive amounts of water can do to conglomerate rock and sandstone.
The tides at Hopewell Rocks can reach as high as 46 feet, and then, hours later, you can walk on the ocean floor. It's at low tide that you can explore and appreciate the uniqueness of these natural rock formations. Although these formations were carved out roughly 10,000 years ago, the water flowing in from the Bay of Fundy continues to sculpt and mold these rocks today.
I'm walking on the ocean floor right now, and if you plan a trip to Hopewell Rocks area, make sure you check out the tide times before you arrive. For example, if you arrive at absolute high tide, it takes 6 hours and 12 minutes for the tide to reach its lowest point. During that time, you have nothing to worry about. There's lots of activities to do. You can kayak around the formations, or there's many trails and platforms giving you the best vantage point to look up and down the Fundy Coast. Also, there's a great interpretation center with all the facts that you need to find out about the world's phenomena, the Bay of Fundy, the world's highest tides.
We're here today at the Hopewell Rocks Interpretive Center here in Hopewell Cape, Albert County, New Brunswick. And we're about to head inside to check out one of the most amazing multimedia exhibits and learn more about this beautiful place that so many people come to visit each year. Prepare to explore, experience, and discover. Come on in.
More than 200,000 visitors pass through the gates at Hopewell Rocks each year.
I'm here with Paul, the director of the Interpretive Services here at Hopewell Rocks. Paul?
Hi, how are you?
Nice to meet you. Thanks for having us here today.
Oh, welcome to the Hopewell Rocks Tidal Exploration Center.
Obviously, a busy spot. Tell us a little bit about the Bay of Fundy and
okay. Usually I come in here with tours, and they've been wandering around on tour buses, and then a lot of them don't know where they are, so we'll start off usually with people and orient them in a geographical sense as to where they are. So we'll look at I show them the map here and show them where they are: New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, and Cape Breton Island, and that the total population in this area, this vast area, is probably only about 1.75, 1.8 million people in the whole area. And then I will go into the explanation of what causes the tides. We would move on and go around here. After we've explained that, I'll ask people for questions, and we talk about how the rocks were formed. The formation really started after the last ice age, about 12,000 years ago, when the ice melted, the bay filled with water, and the tide started. That's when the erosion began. The erosion from the tides from below is the main cause of erosion, and the secondary one is the freeze-thaw cycle. Those are our rocks today, and we figure there's enough cliff left for another 100,000 years before they're all gone.
One thing that was really interesting to me, Paul, with the shorebirds of Fundy that swarm here, is it mid-July to early August they come?
That's right, through up until the middle of August is when they peak, the first 2 weeks of August.
What draws them to Hopewell Rocks? Why do they come?
This is what draws them to the Hopewell Rocks. These monstrous Corophium volutator, the mud shrimp, they're actually a type of shrimp, and they look exactly like this, with one difference.
Smaller, I hope.
They are exactly much smaller. They're about the size of a grain of rice, piece of long grain rice. And the birds come on the beach and eat these by the thousands. It's fascinating to see.
Over a 4 to 6 week period, 2 to 3 million shorebirds, that's close to 75% of the world's population of the semi-palmated sandpiper, congregate in waves along several key locations in the upper reaches of the Bay of Fundy. It is their only stop on a 4,000-kilometer southbound journey, which takes the birds roughly 3 days to travel. Several other species of birds flock to the Bay of Fundy, including the semi-palmated plover. The shorebirds breed in the lower Arctic. In mid-July, they begin their migration to their winter home along the southeast coast of South America in the Guianas and Brazil. Their stop along the Bay of Fundy occurs in 3 primary locations along the New Brunswick shore: Hopewell Rocks, Mary's Point, and Johnson's Mill.
The millions of migrating shorebirds are not on the shore all at the same time. As the females get ready to leave, the males arrive. And likewise, when the males leave, the juveniles arrive. On this day, on the shores near Johnson's Mill Shorebird Reserve, roughly 150,000 shorebirds fly up and down the coast as one entity, avoiding the rolling waves, and predators abound. On some flats, as many as 10 to 20,000 tiny crustaceans can be found in a square meter. Most of these sandpipers and plovers measure between 15 and 17 centimeters in size. A single bird can eat 10 to 20,000 mud shrimp during a single tidal cycle. Their flight above the rolling waves of the flowing tides is so majestic and seemingly choreographed that its beauty draws visitors to witness this truly amazing wonder that is only found on the Bay of Fundy. Coming up, we continue our adventures in New Brunswick, Canada's East Coast experience. Welcome back. We are on the Fundy coastline in New Brunswick, Canada.
I'm doing it. Welcome back to the New Brunswick Adventures, folks. We are in Cape Enrage on the Fundy Coast. We are with the Cape Enrage Adventures. We've got our guides Adam and Travis here. I am extremely terrified of heights. Adam, how am I making out?
You're doing just fine.
Are we like halfway yet?
No, not quite.
Keep the tension on that buddy up there. Keep her tight. It's pretty good if you don't look down. So how long have you been doing this?
Second year doing it here.
So you do this for fun when you're not working?
Yeah.
Really?
Sure do.
Oh, this is fun. This is where we free fall here, right?
Yep. This here is when people can go upside down.
Well, I can guarantee you I do not go upside down. And in fact, I was absolutely dead set against going to do this because I'm terrified of heights. But what really changed my mind was seeing that photograph of an 82-year-old lady climbing over the side of that cliff. My reputation at risk? I wasn't going to be a wimp. I did her 4 times. Meanwhile, Robyn is underground with her guide, Richard Faulkner.
So Richard, is this the direction towards the sump?
This is it. Doesn't it look friendly?
Oh, it's kind of spooky to me.
Once you go through this takes us down to what we call the sump, which is just a water hole, and at that point you would access the main part of the cave system, and after you go through this water hole, get wet and very cold, you have about 2.5 to 3 hours of caving. For those people who have some previous caving experience and are looking for something where the bar is raised a little bit, we do some custom tours down there.
At 10 to 30,000 years old, the North White Cave is still really young in geological terms. It is, however, still forming, albeit very slowly. Water runs throughout the North White Cave, making it an active solution cave, but for the most part, it won't get any bigger than it is today. We are only a few meters away from the entrance, but it is still very hard to see with the limited amount of light. The blackness only adds to the mysterious experience you'll have exploring the North White Cave. During the spring, water fills up most of the cave and thus makes it hard for stalactites and stalagmites to form. However, in the summer when the cave is relatively dry, you can see these crystals forming.
So what kind of animals might you find living in here as we crawl through?
Well, the only thing I've ever seen in here, you're worried about bears, right? No bears, but we have seen porcupines in here before.
Have you? Porcupines?
Porcupines. So you see a porcupine goes wherever the porcupine wants to, all right?
All right.
Give them an option.
What about bats?
Bats. No bats here. We're not in far enough, but
Okay.
we'll see those in the South Cave.
All right. So straight ahead?
Yep. Lead on.
Nice and soft on the knees.
It is, isn't it? This is really a neat spot here.
Luckily, not one porcupine, bat, or bear in sight as I crawled my way through that mysterious, extremely narrow cave. Even though I led the way and had absolutely no idea what to expect next, Richard knew every single twist and turn
Wow.
along the way.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
That was awesome.
Coming up, we continue our adventures in New Brunswick, Canada's East Coast experience. Welcome back. We are on the Fundy coastline in New Brunswick, Canada. The native Indians inhabited this area thousands of years before the white man came. When the Europeans did arrive more than 400 years ago, many landed on these shores.
Situated at the head of the Bay of Fundy on the border between New Brunswick and Nova Scotia rests Fort Beauséjour. Built by the French in 1751, the fort was taken in 1755 by the British and renamed Fort Cumberland. In 1776, during the early stages of the American Revolution, American and local rebels attacked the British but were thwarted. Reinforced for the War of 1812, Fort Beauséjour was abandoned in 1835 and declared a National Historic Site in 1926. Today, the fort is one of 3 National Historic Sites in the Bay of Fundy region.
Further south, along the Fundy coastal route, surrounded by the richness of the Acadian forest and highlighted by the rocky shores of the Bay of Fundy, is Fundy National Park, the first of its kind in the province of New Brunswick, and was created in 1948. Here you can explore over 75 miles of walking and hiking trails, camp at one of the 3 campgrounds, play a round of golf, rent a boat, and cruise one of the several lakes. Around every corner is something new to see at Fundy National Park. Nearby is the town of Alma, where you can witness the dramatic change of tides like nowhere else on the planet and enjoy a favorite local delicacy right off the boats, fresh lobster.
Between the Fundy National Park and the Hopewell Rocks Provincial Park, along the Fundy coastal route, is the Broadleaf Guest Ranch. At Broadleaf, you can take in the New Brunswick countryside by horseback. This 40-year-old ranch has been in the same family for 3 generations and offers accommodations, dining, and adventure packages. You can choose from a wide variety of horses to ride the trails near New Brunswick's Petitcodiac River. I have chosen Jack as my horse, but before I can hit the trails, I'll need a quick lesson from Wendy.
Perfect. So these are your stirrups, and this is what you balance yourself with. If you want him to go faster, you simply give a little kick, and it doesn't hurt him to kick him and it won't make him mad. These are your reins. If you need Jack to turn left, you're simply going to open up to the side with your to the left.
Okay.
It turns his head and he follows his head. All right, so I'm just going to go get my horse and I'm going to come join you.
This is something else.
The Bay of Fundy is truly one of New Brunswick's most amazing experiences, and this area of the province is accessible from many directions. If you're traveling from the southeastern United States, you can easily pick up the Fundy coastal route as you enter the border crossing at St. Stephen. For those Canadians who live west of New Brunswick, and for those visitors from northwestern United States, your New Brunswick holiday begins with the drive along the River Valley Scenic Route, which connects to the Bay of Fundy at the city of St. John. The province of New Brunswick on the east coast of Canada is truly an amazing place. Our culture, places to visit, adventures, and people make this area of Canada truly unique. Thanks so much for watching, and join us next time on the New Brunswick Adventures, Canada's East Coast Experience.